Hello everyone, welcome to UNC Digital class. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the reasons for failure of merger and acquisitions. In spite of giving various benefits, where is the loophole that cause a merger and acquisition become unsuccessful one we discuss here. Whenever a company start their business, the primary objective is to earn profit, is not it? But to earn profit is not the sole objective of every or any company, because one company or business entity can ignore its customers, its shareholders, its employees and the society at large. They have various of objective and they need to achieve that. For instance, a company is not following fair remuneration strategy for their employees and not giving importance to satisfy their customer satisfaction. That company will not prosper in future, because if a company is unable to satisfy their customers and not giving the salary to their employees, those who give their 100% to achieve their organizational goal, that company in future face what scarcity of human capital, as well as no one is interested to engage in that company for availing that product they produce or giving the service to their customers, because they are not concerned about the satisfaction of their customers. So a company or a business entity have varieties of alternative or varieties of objectives like profit maximization, value maximization, satisfying their customers, as well as giving benefit to the society where they operate, and they have some responsibility towards the society. For achieving all these objectives, every company have set their objective and set their strategy. As per their setting strategy, they follow or they work for achieving this. But after introduction of free trade, they face varieties of competitors, and they have stiff competition for achieving their desired objectives, because they face competition not only from the host competitors but also from the foreign investor or competitors. So for this reason, for achieving their desired goals and sustain in the market, they need to redesign or restructure their strategy, and for this reason they do what? Adopting corporate restructuring strategy like joint venture, strategic alliance, merger acquisition, etc., in which merger and acquisition is a very popular one, and we already discussed in our previous video lecture what is merger, reasons, what are the reasons why a company prefer doing merger, and what are the benefit that give when two or more companies join together. Okay. This merger and acquisition is a very popular and that have long history in the development of merger. A merger wave is determined or introduced in different phase. Okay, from the first initial stage, that is we known as the first stage or first wave of merger, that occurs from the year 1897 to 1904. In this year, the merger between firms, those who are particularly engaged in monopoly business, that means monopoly is a market structure in which one seller and there is number of buyers or there is number of users, because producer, the who are engaged in monopoly market, they produce a unique product or they give unique service to their customer and they are only one. So they have their own rights and they do their what they want, because they are only one supplier or only one producer of that service or product, in which we know electricity and the railway is coming under monopolies market. And in this year, that means 1897 to 1904, this merger has took place between this type of companies only, and the nature of the company, those who are engaged in merger, they are particularly horizontal merger. And we know horizontal merger is what? When two or more company join together and this company have same product line. They have same product line, we called it as horizontal merger. And in this year, the merger is occur only in horizontal companies, that means they are in the same product line. And this merger is coming to the end in the year of 1904, because only because of lack of efficiency, because in this type of merger companies need efficient management. But if a company is unable to manage this company after merger, that company comes to an end, and this things is happen in the year 1904. So this is the end of first wave of merger. In the next, the second wave of merger was started from the year 1916 to 1929. In this year, the merger took place, particularly are vertical in nature. That means the company, those who are merging together or who decide to merge together, they are in the different stage of a single supply chain, and these are particularly people interested or companies interested to do merger, and they interested for achieving high or increase their market share. But this merger is coming to end only because of stock market crash in the year 29th October. So with this type of merger is coming to the end. In the next phase, we know as third wave of merger, that was start from the year 1965 to 1969. In this year, the merger between company, those who are completely different from each other, that means they do conglomerate type of merger, and in this merger is inspired by achieving high stock price or incur interest rate which is very high. The people or the company, those who engage in this type of merger, they thought before doing merger for achieving high stock market or achieving high stock price and receiving high amount of interest, they prefer to do conglomerate type of merger in the third wave of merger. In the next, we called it as fourth wave of merger, that was started from the year 1981 to 1989. In this year, they are particularly doing merger completely different from each other, like oil and gas industries and merger between banking and airlines. That means they are completely different from the product, and they have different number of customers, and they have different number of market share. And if this type of merger is occur, we call what conglomerate merger. That means in the fourth wave of merger, companies are prefer to doing conglomerate type of merger, and this merger may be hostile or friendly takeover. That means when one company mutually decided with another company to have assess the control over their management, we call it as what, friendly takeover. If one company is forcefully acquire the interest in other companies or acquire the interest over the management of other company, we call it hostile takeover. Okay, that means in the fourth wave of merger, they are prefer doing hostile takeover or friendly takeover, and particularly this merger is coming to end in because they have anti takeover laws and financial institution laws. When government impose anti takeover laws and various financial institutional laws, this merger wave is coming to the end, and that is in the year 1989. After the end of fourth wave of merger, the fifth wave of merger was started in the year 1991, that continuing in the year 2020, because in past various banking industry is merged together. That means fifth wave of merger is continuing. When the year 1990 to 1991, when our economy is slowed down, and 1991 when the new economic policy, that means the liberalization, globalization, privatization was introduced, that means introduction of what, free trade. That means any companies or any industry, those who are operate in our host country as well as in our foreign country, they are free to do business. They comes to doing merger and acquisition. That continues our fifth wave of merger, and this market is inspired by increasing stock market, because after globalization and liberalization, many companies prefer to doing business and they do business internationally. So their stock price automatically increase, and this is inspired to do merger in foreign countries and foreign companies also. This is all about what the way or development of merger and acquisition for the development of a corporate entity and achieve sustainable growth. Now we discuss about the reasons, or what are the cause for, what are the reasons why a merger and acquisition is a failure one, because as per the statistic more than 50% of merger and acquisitions become failure, and we understand what are the reason or what are the loopholes for becoming a failure of merger and acquisition, or why a merger and acquisition deal is a failure one. So first one is excessive premium. That means in a competitive bidding process, when two or more companies or more than two companies are engaged in a competitive bidding situation, the owner who owns bid, that is usual to give more amount for achieving that or for success in the bidding process, because when the acquiring firm, that means the company who acquire the target firm, give more amount of premium, that means the amount in which acquires firm achieve the target firm, the amount is quite high as compared to the market value of the target firm, and this is because to gain or to winner in the bidding process. And in the theories of merger we already discussed about the winner's curse. There is some theory that is winner's curse, that means the winner who win the bidding process, that later they regret for that bid, but only because of their arrogance in nature they always try to compete or they always try to acquire the bid, and for this reason they give more amount of premium as compared to the market value of the target firm. Okay. Then the second one is size issue, and this size issue is a main cause or reason for failure of a merger and acquisition, because we know in merger and acquisition process when two or more companies join together, that may be they are friendly joined together or forcefully joined together, but if the size between the acquirer firms and the target firms is mismatch, that means if the acquirer firm, the company who acquire another firm, the firm is too big in comparison to the acquire firm, that create a problem to manage them properly, because if a company is not managed properly, then that create problem for achieving their desired goals, and that is ultimate cause for failure of the deal of merger and acquisition. Because after merger and acquisition, if the company is not properly managed only because of their size issues, that may be one company is too big in comparison to another company, that create problem, and the motive for which reason the company doing merger is completely a failure one. Then third one is about lack of research, because we know research is very vital for achieving various information which help a company to decide whether to merge together or acquire by another firm. Because when we research, that means company research that collect various information that helps to take decision for acquiring the firm. If a company is not taking the research properly, that means they are not collecting the data properly, or that means the information they collect, if there is some faulty in evaluation process for collecting research or collecting information from various source, that cause what? So unsuccessful of a merger, because the research gives various information about the company. If the research process completely what? In a wrong manner, that means that research information gives mislead, that means that gives the research information which is completely different from the company's interest and the customer's requirement, that means that merger is ultimately a failure one. Then diversification, when two different varieties of company, that means a company those who are in a different stage of a single supply chain, that means where we talk about the conglomerate type of merger. If this type of merger is occur, that means they have different number of customers, they are completely different from each other because they are different product line and they give different varieties of product or services. And many companies have not enough capacity to manage this type of merger, because for managing conglomerate type of merger we need more capacity, more calibrity and more efficiency. If a company is unable to give their 100% or manage efficiently, that cause a failure of merger and acquisition company. Fifth one is about poor cultural fits. When we talk about merger and acquisition, we are not talking about two companies only, because with merger two or more companies, employees, their shares, their assets, everything is merged together. That means we need to understand or evaluate each aspect correctly. But it is quite easy to manage two companies to merge together, but it is not quite easy to manage or control different sectors of employees or different companies employees in a single roof, because they have different varieties of culture, they have different mindset and they have different attitude. It is too difficult to manage them, and if a company is not properly manage the people or properly manage the employees, those who are engaged in a merging company, then that is also a reason or loopholes that cause failure. Then the sixth one is about faulty evaluation, because before merger each and every company evaluate what is the benefit they gain after merging together or acquiring together. When the target firm is wrongly evaluated by the acquire firm, that means the acquire firm evaluate the benefits that get after merging together, that is a wrong information, or they use the evaluation process is a faulty one, that they understand they give or they get more benefit when they merge together, but this is due to the faulty evaluation process, the benefit they want to achieve after merging together, that is not getting a right manner, so that cause different or that cause a financial burden after merging together. When a company face financial burden after merging together or acquiring by a or takeover by another company, that firms is unable to produce or achieve their goal, that is also a reason or cause for the failure of merger. Then poorly managed integration. When merger took place, the company are completely different, maybe in a same business or in a different business, because we know there is some horizontal type merger, vertical type merger and conglomerate type merger. But the problem is occur when different varieties or different product line companies merge together. They have different customers, they have different geographical location, and they have to capture or satisfy a number of customers, those who are completely different from each other. If after merger or acquisition company is not managed properly, the integration, that means the combination of two or more company after merger or acquisitions, then that cause mismanagement or mislead the company to achieve their desired goal or achieve sustainable growth. That also another cause for failure. Then the next one is ego clash. It is quite obvious when two or more companies employees join together and the management, those who are engaged in that different companies, have different attitude and different mindset. When these employees join together in form of merger, their ego may be the different companies, those employees or those management manage the company have some ego problem, and for this reason they are not properly coordinate with each other, there is lack of communication, and only because of this reason, that means lack of communication, proper coordination between the employees or between the staff of that company, because two different company after merger they become ones. But if these two companies employees is working in a two different direction, that cause to failure of a merger and acquisitions. Then the next one is limited focus. Before merger and acquisitions, two or more company are engaged in different varieties of business line. That means they have different varieties of product and they need to satisfy the different number of different varieties of customers also. But when merging together, that means the two company, those who are operate in a different product line or different sector, that combine together and they operate as a single entity. After merging together, their focus from their core objective of from their core business is blurred. That means their focus is not on the core objective or core product of merging company, and that cause a problem in future, because when they give more importance to adopt the different culture or different employee satisfaction or different customer satisfaction, that cause a problem that day by day they are separate from their core competence, and that create problems to increase or enhance their shareholders value or achieve growth. Then the last one is about merger between equals. When two or more companies, they are equal, that means they may be having same product line. That means a retail industry merging together is another retail industry. That means what? They are in a same equal position or equal product line. When merger between equals, they cause problem because they are different in different companies, they have different customer and they have different from the employees. With them they merge together. But when two different management is merged together and they are equal in their position, their ego clash and their ego cause a problem for manage the company properly, because there is lack of communication, lack of coordination, and there is lack of responsibility and authority also, and that cause mismanagement of a company. And when a company is not properly managed, that cause problem, and that is a loophole in the managed or merged company to run the merged company smoothly. This is all about the reasons why a merger and acquisition becomes a failure one. When merger happen, that means we not only coordinate or integrate the two different companies, but two different companies having different numbers of employees, different number of their customers, and before merger companies need to analyze the financial aspect as well as analysis the employees perspective and the customers perspective also, because when merger happen, that means companies merge together, the employees work in different company, they may work properly or not, and this is a important aspect for the success or a growth of a company, because human capital is important aspect. Without human capital or without customer, no business can run or no business can prosper in future. So before merger, each company need to analysis all these reasons very carefully, because any of this point is left from the analysis before merger, that cause a huge problem after the merging. And every company need to understand the culture and the employees and the customers expectation, and they before merger they need or they analysis financial aspect as well as employees aspect in minutely, because for achieving success both these companies financial aspect and human capital is important factor for all the companies. This is all about the mergers cause or loopholes for dealing merger and acquisition, and that cause a financial burden as well as the liquidation of a company. This is all about today's class. Thank you.